Alright, so in this video I'm going to take you step by step through all the different parts of your WordPress blog that you're going to be using when you're building your website, so you can get a quick understanding of what's going on here. Now, I recorded a video earlier for this that went extremely in depth, and my mic wasn't on during that time, so I'm actually going to try to make this one really brief, because I've already the last video I did was a couple hours long, only to find out my mic wasn't on. So I'm gonna try to get through this one quickly. So if you go into the dashboard tab here, or I'll just start with the dashboard. So obviously where it says right now here, it'll show you shows you how many posts you have on your website, how many pages, categories, tags, and over here under discussion, it's telling you how many comments you have, how many comments total, how many approved, how many pending, and how many are in the spam. Down here it tells you what theme you're using, tells you with how many widgets, tells you what version of WordPress you have here. Recent comments, if I were to have comments on this website, they would show up here, any recent ones. Incoming links, so those will tell you who's linking to you. So it'll tell you each time someone links to your blog, it'll show up here. Plugins, these are just down here telling you most popular plugins, newest plugins. So you can kind of just not even worry about that. I just would minimize it. Other WordPress news, I would just minimize that. It's not really a big deal. WordPress blog, don't really care about that. Up here it says recent drafts. It'll show you any articles that you have that are saved as a draft right now. So this little box, this says quick press. This is allows you to quickly post an article to your website. So if you just really rush for time and you need to post something really quick to your website, some kind of news update or something, you can do it through this quick press here. But it doesn't give you nearly as much functionality as the actual post and page sections of the WordPress blog. So now that we've done the dashboard, let's go down here to updates under the dashboard tab. And I'm using my realobmarketing.com website as an example here. So let's go to the updates tab. So here it's going to tell you what version of WordPress you have. You can use this button to check to see if you have the latest version. This button will reinstall WordPress if you need to do that for some reason. And if you have an out-of-date version of WordPress, this button will allow you to download the latest version. And so this whole tab basically just tells you shows you all your plugins, themes, and your WordPress version, and tells you if they're up to date or not. So under plugins it says my plugins are all up to date. Under themes it says my themes are all up to date. So let's move on to the next section. So Akismet stats. If you have Akismet installed, you'll be able to click this under your dashboard, right under updates here. Okay, I don't have Akismet set up yet, so it just says invalid. So we'll move on to the next section, posts. This is probably where you'll be spending a lot of your time if you're when you're uploading content to your website. So from here you can click add new, and that'll take you to a screen to allow you to add a new article to your website. So under posts, under the post tab, you have 4 categories here. There are 4 sections. You have all posts, add new, categories, and tags. So if you click all posts, which is this screen right here, you can see all the posts on your website, and you can sort through them and make any changes. If you want to move them to the trash, or if you want to edit them, you can do that from this screen. So if you click add new, or if you click this button up here that says add new, it'll take you to the screen that allows you to add a new post. So obviously, this is the title. This is where you'll be putting the title of your posts right here. This box down here is where you'll put the all of the content of your article. And this, where it says Catalyst Post Page Options, this is a whole special section that because I have a paid theme called Catalyst, this is a special section that this theme gives me. So it gives me some added functionality. Down here where it says all-in-one SEO pack, this is extra functionality that the all-in-one SEO pack plugin is giving me. So I can manually override what I want the title and description to be for any one of my articles with this section down here. So if you click this button, show hide kitchen sink, this will bring up a whole nother row of options. So you can add headings, and you can underline things, change the color of your text. So you have a lot more functionality through this show or hide kitchen sink. So I usually just leave it on, and obviously you have all the standard bold, italic. You can bold your text, italicize your text, so over here, up here, you'll see there's two tabs: visual and HTML. So the HTML tag or HTML tab is where you can do any editing to the HTML code. So if you have, so when you have it set on visual, it'll show you your content the way it's going to be seen on your website. So if you have a bunch of HTML that shows a picture or something, or some kind of link, in the visual tab it'll probably just show the picture. And if you want to change the HTML for that picture, such as if you need to go through and no follow any affiliate links or any links you have in your content, you can do that by clicking on the HTML tab and going in here and editing all the HTML. So that's pretty simple. So over here under publish, you have a few options, a few buttons here. The save draft will obviously save your post as a draft. Preview allows you to see your post the way it looks on your website before you publish it. And so you can, with these options here, so you can change the setting here. If you want to change it to a draft, you can, where it says visibility here, you can change it to see, you can change it to make your post public, or you can stick it to the front page, or you can password protect it, or you can make it private. So you might want to use these options at some point. Under where it says publish immediately, there's an edit button, and you can actually, if you want to publish a post at a later date, you can do that through this section right here. So right now it's set to publish immediately, which means when I hit the blue publish button down here, it's going to make my article go live on my website right away. So this function is useful for setting your post to actually publish at a later date. So a lot of people like to call that drip feeding your content or something like that, but I think that's kind of stupid. But so this will allow you to publish your post at a later date. So down here under categories, this is going to show all your categories you've created for your website. So obviously you can see here I only have one category. It's called real marketing. So in this blue button down here, this allows you to add categories right from this screen here. So you can either go to your categories tab, or you can do it right from here in real time. So if you need to add a category right after you publish a post, a new category, you can do that just by clicking this here, and it pops this open, and you can select create a new category here. So that's pretty simple. Down here, tags, if you want to add tags to your posts, or add your post to certain tag groups, you can add any tags you want to add right here, separated by commas. So like real, comma, marketing, comma, business. So there's 3 tags there I could create if I click add, but I won't. Featured images. This is kind of a hard one to explain. Featured images, when you set an image as featured, it'll show up differently than pictures that are like in your posts. It's really hard to explain this one. It doesn't really matter all that much. You can kind of tinker around with it to actually see what it does. But so that's basically your whole post tab. So let's move on to So this is the tab you're going to spend most of your time uploading articles to your website. So let's move on to the next tab, categories, which is under posts. So I'm going to leave this page. Okay, and so from this screen here, you'll be able to add any categories that you want to add, and you'll be able to edit and view any categories that you already have on your website. So it's going to show you the description that you have for your categories, the slug, which is the URL friendly version of the category, and it'll show you how many posts you have in each of your categories. So, and over here where it says add new category, you can obviously add a new category here. You put the name, the slug, so and also the description down here, and you can change whether you want it to be a parent category or not. So let's see, and then you'd click add new category after you put in all that information, and it'll show up right here, over here. So if you need to do any editing to your categories, like changing the names or descriptions or anything like that, this is the screen that you would do it from. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You can delete categories, you can search categories using this button up here if you have a huge amount of categories. So let's move on to tags. Now, when you're creating your website, especially when you're first creating it, I wouldn't recommend using tags. A lot of people use tags, but I don't ever use tags because I see it as a kind of like, I don't really see any point in using them. I did when I first started out, and because I had so many different tags, they were ranking for a lot of different long tail keywords, and so they brought in a lot more traffic to my website right from the start, but then after that they're really kind of useless in my opinion, unless you really need them to separate your content. But I don't use them. I don't really see any need to use them, and my websites make plenty of money without using tags at all. So from this screen you can add a new tag. Obviously you'd put the name in, the slug, the description, and then click add new tag. You can also, over here, you can edit any tags that you already have, or delete tags. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You can see the description, slug, how many posts are in each tag. So that's pretty simple. Let's move on to the next section here. So if you click media, so this is the media tab, and from here you'll be able to manage any media that you have for your website. So any pictures, videos, or anything like that you upload, any type of media that you upload to your website can be edited here. So you can delete it, edit it, you can view it, you can do anything you need to do with, deal with your pictures and stuff. You can do all that from this screen right here. And if you click add new under the media tab, or this button up here, this says add new, obviously that will allow you to add new media. So WordPress recently, one of their newest updates, they created this big box here, and you can just drag pictures from your desktop straight into, or from wherever you have them on your computer, and just drag them all straight into here. And so instead of having to click select files and upload them one at a time, you can just drag and drop a huge amount of media into this box right here, and it'll upload all of it. So that's pretty useful. Or like I said, you can use this button here, click select files, and it'll allow you to browse your computer and upload pieces of media one at a time, so pictures or whatever. So that's pretty simple. So I'm gonna just skip the link category because I don't think you're probably not gonna use it. It's kind of, well, actually here I won't skip it. So click the link category. So obviously it'll show you any links that you have in here, and if you click add new under the links category, you can add new links. And the whole point of this is just when you for example, when you first create your WordPress blog, you'll see all these links that link out to like WordPress and .com and all these, or WordPress, all the different areas of the WordPress website. And so those are pretty useless. You're not even gonna. Most people are just gonna delete those links. And so let me just click the. Let's just go to widgets here and see if the. Okay, so where it says links right here, this widget, all this does is this will, if you put this somewhere on your website, it's going to show all the links that you have created in your links section up here. So that's all this tab does. The links tab just allows you to create links that will show up when you use this widget, or so your blog roll links. It's basically what they're called. So now we're going to go from links where we were and skip down to pages. So anyway, you probably won't ever use the blog roll links. So click the pages tab. So this is going to show you all the pages you have on your blog, and it's going to tell you it's going to tell you the names and all that. It's going to allow you to either view them or edit them. So anytime you want to mess with your pages, any pages you have, or add new pages, you do that from this screen. You can click this button to add a new page, or click this button under the pages tab to add a new page. And so when you want to add a new page, it's basically the same thing as adding a post, but it's a little bit different. Over here you can set these different templates here. I'm not going to go into explaining what these are because they're not. You probably won't ever really use them. So pretty much the same thing as if you were to add a new post. So that's pretty simple to understand. Pages and posts are pretty. They're different, but they're kind of the same. Whenever you're adding content to your website, you're going to use posts. Just the way that WordPress is kind of. You're kind of meant to use posts when you add new content to your website. If you need to add pages like your privacy policy and your terms of service and pages like that, the kind of boring pages, you would do that. You would add that content to your website with a page. Add it as a page instead of a post. So your articles will be posts, and your other stuff, your privacy policy and all that stuff, will be pages. So let's skip down to the comments section now. Oops. So under the comments, this is the comments screen. So obviously you'll see any comments that you have approved for your blog. You'll see those here. You'll be able to approve comments, delete comments, put comments in the spam or in the trash. So anything that has to do with comments, whenever you want to mess with the comments on your website, you do that from here. So this tab that says Catalyst, this is an entirely special tab that allows me to tinker with all the different design options that my paid theme Catalyst gives me. So, and this is really an amazing theme here. And it has, I'm not gonna go into all the different design features it has, but it's really a great theme. It's a paid theme. So let's skip down to appearance here. Okay, so under appearance you're going to see 4 different little sections here. One that says themes, one that says widgets, menus, and editor. So themes is pretty much, it's going to show you all the themes that you have installed for your blog. The one up top here is going to be it's going to be the theme that you have activated. So it says I have the dynamic theme activated, and this theme down here, which is the 2011 theme that comes with WordPress when you install it. This is obviously not activated, and so it's showing me all the themes I have installed, because you can have a bunch of different themes installed and only have one activated. I recommend you delete any themes that you're not using, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete this 2011 theme right now because I don't need it. So, and Catalyst is a kind of a weird theme. You have to have the actual Catalyst theme, and then you have to have the dynamic child theme, and you have to have both the themes installed, but the dynamic child theme needs to be activated if you want the full design capabilities that this theme can offer you. So that's just something to keep in mind if you decide to purchase this theme. So let's move on to widgets. So widgets are basically they give your blog a lot more functionality. So you'll get a lot of widgets that come stock with your WordPress installation, such as pages widgets, this RSS widget, the text widget, search widget, recent comments, recent posts, tag cloud. I don't recommend you use the tag cloud, and you probably shouldn't if you don't have any tags anyway. So in all these themes that say all these widgets that say Catalyst, these are special widgets that are added to my collection of widgets here because of my Catalyst theme. So all these widgets add a lot of extra functionalities, such as I can add an author bio, or 125 by 125 pixel ads. So I can add a little box that shows a bunch of ads if I wanted to do that. That's really common for people that are promoting affiliate products on their website. I could execute PHP code with this widget. So anyway, widgets just give you a lot more functionality to your blog. And this over here, these sidebars, with every theme you have these little areas over here where you can add widgets. So for example, here's the sidebar 1. I have 2 widgets in it right now, the recent posts and the search widget. And depending on where these sidebars are located on my website is where these widgets will actually show up. So I only have, with the setting I have right now, I'm only getting 2 sidebars here to put widgets in, but I can put as many widgets as I want in any of these each of these sidebars. So all I really need is just 2 sidebars. So the widgets are really useful when you want to add more functionality, when you want to show different things on your website, such as if you want to show your categories, all your different categories. You can put this in one of your sidebars or one of your areas. Different themes will have different areas to put stuff in. Some themes have like 10 different little sidebar areas or stuff like that where you can put widgets in. This theme doesn't, so it's no big deal though. So that's pretty much what widgets are. Pretty easy to understand. Down here it says inactive widgets. So you can, whenever you have a widget that you've set up that has special settings, you want to take that widget and move it down here to where it says inactive widgets, and that's going to allow you to keep the settings for that widget without deleting it completely, so you can use it at a later date if you need to. So I'll move on down here to menus. So this is where you can create a menu. Now let's see here. So a menu is basically just this this area up here where this says home. All along this big bar here, this would be where my menu would be. And a menu is it's really just it's kind of like categories in a way. Like it's not you can create a custom menu. You kind of would have to tinker with this to figure out exactly what it does, or what I can't really think of how to explain what it is. but you can get by just fine without ever creating a menu. But so if you want to create a menu, you can just come in here and obviously put the name here and click create menu. You could create a new menu or custom menu here it says. So I'm not going to get into the menus right now. So under appearance, let's go to editor. Click editor here. So this is a section that you'll probably never get into unless you know how to code different aspects of a WordPress blog, which if you're new to all this, you probably don't. So this editor allows you to edit your actual theme, like your theme functions and stuff. And so I wouldn't recommend coming in here and messing with anything unless you know what you're doing, because you could easily delete your entire blog or screw up your entire blog just by messing up one little thing in here in this code. So I would just skip that. Go down to plugins here. So this is going to show you all the plugins that you have installed. It's going to allow you to deactivate the plugins. You can edit them, which you're probably not going to do unless you once again you know how to code. In settings, so you can change the settings of your plugins. Not all plugins will have a little section that says settings. Oftentimes you'll have to go down here under this settings tab, and the name of your plugin will show up, such as the all-in-one SEO plugin does right here, and you can click that and it'll actually take you to a page where you can change the settings for that plugin. So you won't always be able to change the settings from this screen here. But so you can manage all your plugins from this screen. You can search installed plugins up here with this button, or you can add a new plugin up here. So let's click, or you can do the same thing if you click this add new right here under the plugins tab. So we'll just click that. So that's going to take you to this screen where you can search for any plugins if you know the name of them. Search through all the plugins that people have created and uploaded to the WordPress plugin directory. Or you can click upload if you have any plugins that you purchased, any paid plugins or ones you got from purchasing a paid theme, and you can browse your computer here, and they'll come in a .zip file, your paid plugins, and you can just browse your computer, find it, and then install it with this button. You can search through the featured plugins in the WordPress directory if you're looking at plugins, or you can search and see the most popular plugins in the WordPress directory, or you can click the newest tab right here to see all the newest plugins that have been uploaded. So I don't recommend just randomly browsing through plugins to find ones to download, because the more plugins you have, the easier it is for somebody to hack your WordPress site. So I try to keep my plugins down to a minimum, and so let's go back over here to editor. So under the plugins tab, you'll see this editor, and this allows you to once again edit the code of your plugins, which you're not going to be doing unless you actually know how to code WordPress stuff. So you don't want to mess with any of this stuff unless you know what you're doing. So we'll just go skip down here to where it says users, the users tab. Now this allows you to change any of your WordPress users. So you can edit any users you have here, or you can add new users, or you can change privileges of users, change the role. So for example, this is my user Oliver, and my role is the administrator. So I can administer the blog, and I have a lot more functionality as opposed to a user who's just a contributor or subscriber or something. So, and it tells how many posts each user has contributed to the website. So we'll click add new now. Click add new, the add new button up here. And this will allow you to add a new user if you need to. You got to put the username, email, first name, last name, all that stuff. And you can set the role here of how much functionality you want them to have on your website. And then obviously click add new user. That'll allow you to add a new user. Let's see, from here, from your profile, under the users tab, you can change your own personal profile to you can add information. If you need to change your password, you can do that from right here. Down here I have special Catalyst, special options because of my Catalyst theme. So it's pretty simple. Just click the Tools tab down here. So the Tools tab will allow you to import or export settings or content from another blog. So we'll start with the Export tab first. So you can actually export all of your posts, pages, comments, custom fields, categories, and tags from this menu, and it'll put them in an XML file, and you can use that to use the import function on another blog if you want to import all of the content that you just exported from a different blog. And so in this export screen here, you can choose to export all content, and it tells you what content will be exported right here, or you can export just your posts or just your pages. So it's pretty simple to understand, and that's what these two functions do, the import and export functions. So let's go to settings now. So this will allow you to change your site title and your tagline. So if you look at my website here, my example website, this is my site title right here in red, and under it is my tagline. So you can change what these say if you want, or you can choose to just get rid of them altogether if you don't want to use them. A lot of people just do that and put a custom header or something up there. And you'll want to just leave these URLs alone unless you want to. It says enter the address here if you want your site homepage to be different from the directory you installed WordPress. So that's pretty simple. If you're going to be running your website the way I recommend, then you just want to leave this by itself, or just leave this the way it is. So obviously you put your email in here. This will give you notifications for all different types of anything that's going on with your blog. So that you want to make sure you put your email in here so you get all these important notifications. You can change this where it says membership. You can click this checkbox and allow anyone to register to your blog, create a user account on your blog, and you can change their default role. This is for when those users create an account. You can change what their default role is. So most of the time you're gonna want to just leave it at subscriber. Well, I actually don't let anyone register to my WordPress site, so I just don't even check this box. And the rest of this stuff on this page is just, you can change the date and the time format stuff. It's kind of self-explanatory. Just change the way this information is displayed, and you click Save Changes button, the Save Changes button down here. So let's go to the writing section under Settings. So this allows you to change the size of your post box, so how big you want your post box to be. You could double this or something if you wanted it to be bigger. Formatting this changes, this little checkbox changes when you type in a smiley face or something, it changes it into an actual graphic smiley face. So that's automatically checkboxed. I would just leave that checked. Just leave this one unchecked. The WordPress should correct invalidly nested HTML. Leave that unchecked. And you can just leave these the way they are. The default post category and default link category. And so this other stuff is not really anything important that you'll probably ever use. Post via email, I wouldn't worry about that stuff. You probably won't ever be doing that. Remote publishing, you probably won't ever be doing that either, so I'll just leave that alone. And just leave this down here under the update services, just leave that the way it is. So move on to the reading section now under settings. So this shows you how many pages, how many blog pages will show up. Let's see. Okay, and you can change your you can change how you want the content in your feed, if you want it to be a full post, or if you just want it to be a summary. So if you have a feed for your website, you can change what do you want it to be right here. So let's move on to the discussion section now. Most of these you want to just leave the way they are right now. You want to just leave them. They'll come like this when you create a new blog. They'll come checked like this, and so you can allow people to post comments on new articles if you check this box. I would just leave most of this stuff is for this whole page is for comments. So this is the discussion on your website, which is the comments. So all this stuff handles comments. It's all pretty self-explanatory, so you can just read each of these check boxes here and see what they do and decide if you want to mess with them or not. So let's move on to the media section now. So this allows you to change how your pictures look in your media when you add them into your content, or when you add them to your posts or pages on your website. I would just leave all this stuff default the way it is. Let's go to the privacy section now. This section is important because a lot of people, when they create a new blog, they want to block their website from the search engine, so they don't get so it's not indexed right away until they get some content on it. And it doesn't really matter. I usually just leave it the way it is and just add my content later. It's not a big deal to me, but some people will want to check this box to block the search engines, which means they won't index the website. So I just leave this the way it is. So let's go to the permalinks section now. So this is how your when you publish a post, this is how it's gonna whichever one you have checked here, whichever setting, it's how it's gonna show your, it's how it's gonna create the URL for your post. So for example, if you use the post name setting, this is the cleanest setting, and it's going to show just your website and then the name of your post in the URL, the browser URL box up here. So what you want to make sure though that you click custom structure and eventually change this to I would right away change this to make sure you have change it to post ID and then post name after, and you can look that up. I can't think right off the top of my head what the syntax is, but you want to have the post ID and then the post name after, and that's how you want your structure to be, because it'll show your website and then it'll show the post ID, which is a number, and then the name of your post. And that's really important, because if you're going to create a really big website, you want to put a number in there, because it makes WordPress be able to find your pages really fast. And if you keep it just with the post name setting here, it'll once you get a lot of pages on your website, it has a hard time finding pages, and it can slow down your website a lot. So under the settings tab here, you're going to see all kinds of different if you have a bunch of different plugins installed, normally you can change the settings of those plugins under the settings tab, and they'll show up down here somewhere. Like this one, you'll see the name where you can set up your plugins. So that's pretty much it. That's all the main settings for your WordPress blog that you need to know about.